Hey lovelies, welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Dr. Heavenly speaking on Melody's reduced scenes in the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. If you're new to this channel, I do commentary on reality TV shows, all things Love and Marriage Huntsville. I do comment on other shows as well, like The Ultimatum, South Africa, and other shows. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And everyone, please like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section below. It really helps with the algorithm. It helps to get my channel out there. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into today's video. So Dr. Heavenly and Carlosking on their messy Mondays started talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville per usual. And so Dr. Heavenly starts saying that she feels like Tisha and Martell are a good couple and she likes them. She's happy for them. Now, she did say that she feels like if he stepped out, Tisha was going to stay with him, but she doesn't really think there's anything wrong with that. To be fair, this is not the first time she's alluded to something like that, so I'm not surprised there. And then she says that she sees melodyshari as a mentor figure and that's the energy that Melody gives. She did talk about the fact that she feels like Melody has gone through a lot in her life and that she's very wise. She did also say that she feels that from Melody's energy, that Melody doesn't really mess with any of the cast members, and that much is evident from her energy, right? It is interesting that she would say that, right? And I feel like that energy goes both ways in the sense that even when you see the clips and the interaction of other cast members towards Melody, you can see from their interaction that they do not see it for each other. So I don't really think like it goes one way, but I don't think she really meant it that deeply. It's just something that when I heard that, I was like, okay, let's talk about it across the board. Because on the part of Tisha and Kimmy, for instance, the fact that they do not show up to support Melody's events, they do not publicly support Melody's events, these sorts of things are evidence that they don't really see it for each other. And then on the show, even when you see their interaction with Melody, it does seem a little forced. So I think all across the board, I think they don't see it for each other. So I think it's important to be balanced about these things. So she did mention that Trisha gives her sneaky link vibes and that she feels that Trisha is going to step out on the man that she's dating, so on Ken. Now, yeah, I think with that one, I don't particularly disagree on that. But I don't think she is going to do it because she's going to end up just looking silly. Because you're married to somebody else and then you step out and then date another person only to then step out on them. I think she's just going to end up being the villain if she moves in that way. Now, I don't get the impression that she is able to hold that villain role. So I do not think she is going to move like that. This is just my personal opinion. Now, does she sound a little sneaky? Maybe, because it takes a level of sneakiness to be dating someone whilst married to another, and then to be saying that some people don't even know that you are separated from your husband. I feel like that really just does not really speak well. So I do think that shows a level of sneakiness. I completely agree with that. I just feel like I don't think she's going to be silly enough to step out, knowing fully well that we already look at her as having a side ninja. Like, I don't think she's going to be silly enough to do that, in my opinion. But who knows? I guess we'll see. We don't know enough of her, but I guess we'll get to find out. Now, she did allude a little bit towards she just doesn't hope, she hopes that Martell doesn't put it on her. I'm like, on Trish? And, you know, all he has to do is a little charm. And I was like, oh, goodness. Well, I do hope that never happens. I do hope she isn't silly enough to fall for that. Because the same Martell that walked in and didn't even say hi Like, I just don't think that you should be risking your relationship, your reputation for somebody like Martell. I feel like anyone that deals with Martell now, knowing fully well what his reputation is, does not care about their reputation, does not care about their brand, their life. Because how are you going to be out here being seen to be interacting with someone like Martell? Just doesn't make sense. I don't think that's a good idea for anyone that cares. Now, she does also talk a little bit about Kimi and Maurice's relationship, and that she likes their interaction and their relationship. I'm like, I'm not being funny, but we haven't seen a lot of their interaction this season, so I don't really know what she's talking about, but maybe she's just talking about in general. Now, she does talk about Melody sort of not really appearing in everything. She mentioned that whilst Melody was in most episodes, or was in all the episodes, you couldn't really see her in a lot of scenes. It was like she was seen very minimally. And then she talks about, oh, is it because of the court case that Melody and Martell can't be in the same episode? Then, of course, carlosking says, no, it's just they're not in the same scenes together. So apparently Martell would be seen in the next episode. I think for anyone that is watching, it is obvious that they are trying to ice Melody out, because it's like when you see Melody, it's a very tiny segment of the show. You barely see her. Instead, it feels like this season all we keep seeing is Stormy, and let's be honest, Stormy is not very entertaining. I just don't think she has enough of a personality to hold our attention. Now, I think her business acumen is great so far. In fact, we heard about what she did on TikTok. But I feel like when it comes to personality, when it comes to being engaging on the show, I just don't feel engaged in her scenes. But let me know, because I know Stormy has some fans. So let me know, do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, she does mention that it seems that they're trying to separate the episode where Martell is in and Melody is in. But she has to appear in every episode because she gets paid per episode. Honestly, I feel like anyone with eyes can see that Melody is being iced from the show. It's almost like they're saying, wow, you had the audacity to take Martell, to get Martell arrested and highlight this whole revenge piece situation and mess up with our bag. We are going to mess with your bag by icing you out and phasing you out of the show. Remember when Nene talks about being iced out of the show and phased out of the show? I feel like that is what they are doing. Now, of course, Melody is not Nene, let's be clear, and vice versa. They're completely different people. But I do feel like they're starting to ice her out. They're starting to show less and less of her. It's almost like they want to train us to not see Melody on the show, so that eventually when Melody leaves, it's like, oh, well, we're still going to keep watching because she was barely in the season anyway. I feel like that's the agenda. But it's clearly not working, because so far the ratings are terrible. I feel like if Carlos wants to do the right thing, he needs to have a sit down with melodyshari and say, okay, I feel like this season is not reflective of what we want. Next season, how about we do this, and that? How do you feel about that? I feel like he needs to show more of Melody on the season. People love Melody's energy. This is the reason that people go to watch her lives. We watch her lives very, very often. Like, I even have my notifications turned on, although sometimes I'm asleep when she goes live, but I have my notifications turned on so I can watch her live. Even if she's not talking about anything that I can bring to this channel or whatever, but I just watch it because I enjoy watching her, right? And I feel like a lot of people can relate to watching her because they enjoy watching her. So all they need to do is simply bring more of that to the show and they will see an increase. But until they're willing to do that, they're not going to see the increase in the viewership. nobody is going to watch, and it's going to continue to reduce. If they keep doing what they're doing, it's going to continue to reduce. The ratings will continue to drop. In a way, I wish the ratings will continue to drop. And I say that as someone who doesn't say these sorts of things, but I feel like I wish the ratings will continue to drop so that people can understand impacts. People can understand what we as the viewers want to see on the show. We want to see more of melodyshari on the show. Therefore, I think production needs to do what is needful by giving us what we want to see. At the end of the day, your customers are always right. Right? So your viewers are always right. They want to see somebody, then give them more of that. That's like you guys on this channel, right? As much as I want to do so many other things, you guys love a particular type of content. So what do? I keep giving you more of that content. And then I do try to cover other things as well and introduce you guys to new things. Now, some of these things don't work, but I still make sure I'm prioritizing by showing you and talking about things I know you guys want to talk about. And then I do add a few other things as well. And I feel like the same rule applies. And that's what carlosking needs to be doing. It's like, yes, give us who we want to see. And yes, you can show Trish and all these people that we don't really care to see as well, and introduce them to us and see how we get on with them, but still give the people what the people want. That is all I got to say on this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post or go live. And I'll see you guys in the comments. I know you guys will have a lot to say, and I can't wait to chat it up with you guys in the comment section below. Take care. Thank you. Bye.